Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome back to the almighty fly-by-wire Airbus A380. Today we're going to take it from Munich to Denver, which is one of Lufthansa's summer routes, and I do have to say I'm really looking forward to landing in the hot and high elevations of Denver. But before we get to that, a quick message from today's sponsor, Say Intentions AI. If you're looking for an ATC add-on and one that can not only do your standard IFR A to B flight, but also things like data link, like VFR, and even has some gimmicks such as a cabin crew simulation, then Say Intentions may just about be for you. We will be using it throughout today's video, so if you like what you hear, check them out in the link below. And now, let's get right into it. With that, we're going to hop right into the flight deck of the A380. A couple of basic things for us to do over here, which is engine master levers are off, thrust levers idle, landing gear lever down, the wipers are off. Then we can check our battery voltage up here on the aft overhead panel. We're looking for at least 25.5 on each of them, and that is looking pretty good. Alright, so with that checked, let's go ahead and turn on our 4 batteries and then the externals in the sequence 2, 3, 1 and 4. And that's going to power our airplane up. Now the A380 will take a little while to load here, and we can make good use of that time by jumping over into our Simbri flight plan. So follow me. Now this is going to be our route. We're departing Munich today on pretty much northbound track, and then we are passing north of Iceland, across Greenland, and then down into Canada and eventually the USA. The significant weather charts shows us a little bit of expected turbulence up to level 360 on today's climb until about Hanover, thereafter clear skies. And again, good weather conditions until we've passed the Hudson Bay. Over here we are expecting a little bit of turbulence, and then we are basically cutting along the edge of this clear air turbulence area over here on our way into Denver. The airport weather, however, is looking quite a bit better over here in Munich. Light showers of rain and a couple of clouds, but nothing too significant. And looking over at Denver, well, temperature is 11 degrees right now, but that's going to warm up, and overall very good weather conditions. Our alternate Salt Lake is also very good, so with that in mind, we can head to the top of our plan, and we can see that if we depart on time, we are also going to arrive just about on time. We are not critical with any of our weights, and then heading down into the fuel section, we can see that the minimum today is basically 147.5. Now, I don't think we're going to need a lot more, so let's just round it up, 148 tons, and then we are good to go. Okay, so with that in mind, 148 tons it is. Let's go ahead and start our iPad. We are going to import the SimBrief data over here, and then we can go into the ground menu. Now I am probably going to increase our weights here just slightly, let's say 17,400, and we can load that, please. And then we can head into the fuel section, and over here we wanted 148 tons, which we can load as well. Alright, wonderful. So that's our airplane loaded. So with that, we can continue with our pre-flight procedures. So power is now applied. Let's go ahead and turn on the ADRs, all 3 of them. Then we can do our recall. Hold that for 3 seconds, and it looks like there is nothing in there. Perfect. So then, fire test is looking good, and well, the temperatures today 16 degrees. Let's have a look at the air conditioning page. Yeah, it's 16 to 17 inside. That's fine for the time being, so we can keep the APU off for the moment. Our oxygen quantities are looking good, and then we can head into the hydraulic page. Hydraulic quantities are good as well. Engine oil. Let's power up the FADEX to have a look. Engine oil is good for today's flight as well. Alright, wonderful. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and run right into our OAS, and we are starting right down here. So let's get that table out. And let's try to get it to open. Here we go. Alright, cool. So our flight number will be D Lufthansa 480 from Munich over to Denver. Like this. And our registration is Delta Alpha India Mike Lima. Okay, so onto the charts menu, and we are going to use Navigraph charts today. So from Echo Delta Delta Mike, and we can go ahead and pin our charts. So that's going to be the taxi chart and the parking stands east. And then we can also pin our SID already. And that's going to be the input, well, they say 2 Sierra over here. I think it's going to be input 3 Quebec, isn't it? Or is it input 2 November? Let's just see real quick. Departing on 26 right, input 2 November. Yes, that's the one. Okay, perfect. So that's the basics in the background over here. Then let's go ahead and do our takeoff calculations. So for that, we'll go straight back into SimBrief, please. And then let's see. So takeoff performance. We are departing Munich, runway 26 right. Takeoff run available 3,800. Let's see, bleeds off and the weather is good. Runway condition wet is fine as well. Calculate. So 44 degrees flex temperature, speeds are okay. 13 meter stop margin, so really not all that much, but completely fine for today's flight. All right, wonderful. So that's our preliminary cockpit preparation completed. Then we can head right into the cockpit preparation procedure, and there is not all that much for us to do down here. Fueling is finished. We will turn the temperature up a little bit. All right, fuel pumps all on, everything up here checked, everything up here checked. So QNH for the time being looks like it's 1014. We'll confirm it on the ATIS in a few moments. It's the 7th of June today. So we no longer need that engine page pinned. Then let's go ahead and find our frequencies. So ATIS 123.130.
CT, you have information echo.
Let's have a listen.
Munchen Airport, information echo. 1520 Zulu. Wind 210 at 11. Visibility 6. Sky conditions, few at 3600 feet. Scattered at 4400 feet. Temperature 18. Dew point 14. QNH 1014. Density altitude 2100 feet. Transition level 55. Arriving runway 26 right.
Okay, perfect. So that's it. So 1 to 1.5 is active. Frequencies are set. We'll select the interphone for now. In the middle, everything is set, and over here as well. Wonderful. Okay, cool. So then we can get right into our FMS. So A380-800 Trent engines, nav database up to date. So company flight plan request, and this might take a little moment now. Okay, received and insert. So Lufthansa 480 Munich to Denver, alternate Salt Lake, flight level 340, cost NX50. Let's have a look into our plan. So tropopause in 32, temperature minus 48. So that's going to be minus 48, and the tropopause 32,000 is correct. Average wind component is headwind of 5 knots. Like this. Alright, so the IRS is going to align on the GPS position. Now, departure, runway 26 right, and we're looking for an input departure. So input to November, and insert. And now for our arrival into Denver, let's see what they have in store for us. Runway 07. I have no idea if that is good or not, but we are just going to correct it anyway if it's incorrect. So for the time being, just want to have something in here. LE3 from Nitro. So LE3, Nitro transition, and insert that for the time being. Now let's go ahead and check our SID. So straight ahead on a track 261 to Delta Mike 066, maximum 220. And that is looking correct. And then it's going to be a right-hand turn, Delta Mike 064, Delta Mike 065, maximum 250. And then towards input. So that is all correct. Initial climb clearance, flight level 70. And we'll make that 7,100 until we have actually received our ATC clearance. Now, nothing in the nav aids. Fuel and load. Let's go ahead and have a look. So, oh god, what are you doing? So, zero fuel weight is 356.8. Like that, we don't know the exact CG yet, so I'll just take 25, block fuel 148. So, taxi 0.8. Now let's see about the alternate and the reserves. Alternate is 11.8, reserves 5. So 11.8 and 5. And last but not least, the route reserve is 3.8. Okay, so that's looking good. Then let's continue on to the takeoff performance. And over here, we can check SimBrief one more time. So it's a flaps 1 takeoff at 44 degrees. So flaps 1 is selected, flex 44, takeoff shift 200. Okay, so our takeoff speeds are going to be, let's see, 135, 156, 164. Okay, and that will be with the packs off or supplied by the APU. Engine out, acceleration 3000 is correct, transition 5000 is correct, and nothing on the climb page. That's okay with me as well. Alright, wonderful. So since none of the secondaries are simulated, I am happy with this. Let's go into the surveillance page here. Transponder 2000 standby. ATC com page is not implemented yet. Perfect. Then we are done with our flight deck preparation down here. Let's go up here and, well, there isn't much to do. Alright, cool. So that's pretty much everything done. Then I'd say we can go ahead and call for our clearance. And we had information echo. München delivery, Lufthansa 480 Super, information echo, request clearance to Denver and runway 26 right. On the 8th they said 26 left for departures. We don't want that.
1 second while I grab the paperwork.
Roger, please do that. So let's see what they have in store for us. It did start to rain in the meantime, so I guess...
Lufthansa 480, information echo is current. Cleared to Denver via the input 2 Sierra, departure runway 26 left. Initial climb to 7,000, departure on 118.83, squawk 4321.
Lufthansa 480 is runway 26 right available for departure. Let's see what they're gonna say.
Lufthansa 480, runway 26 right is available for departure.
Lufthansa 480, roger, request runway 26 right.
Lufthansa 480, runway 26 right is approved for departure. Cleared to Denver via the input 2 November departure, then as filed. Initial climb 7,000, departure on 118.83, squawk 4321.
Lufthansa 480 is cleared to Denver, runway 26 right, input 2 November departure, climb flight level 70, departure on 118.83, squawk 4321.
Lufthansa 480, read back correct. Ground will be on 121.83.
121.83, Lufthansa 480. Bye-bye. Okay, beautiful. So, we've already gotten that handover.
Emmanuel, boarding has started and the first passengers are aboard the plane.
Thank you. Okay, so 26 right, input 2 November, 7,000 is confirmed.
We are delighted to have you with us today as we travel from München to Denver. Please take your seats according to your boarding passes and stow your hand luggage in the overhead bins.
1883 is stored.
If you need any assistance, don't hesitate to contact our friendly crew. We're here to help you.
Okay,
Thank you for
and the
choosing
squawk is
Lufthansa,
in.
and we wish you
Beautiful.
a pleasant flight.
Liebe Fluggäste, einen wunderschönen guten Morgen auch aus dem Cockpit. Mein Name ist Emanuel. Im Namen der Lufthansa darf ich Sie herzlich an Bord unseres Airbus A380 auf diesem Flug nach Denver begrüßen. Wir erwarten heute eine Flugzeit von ca. 9,5 bis 10 Stunden und einen weitestgehend ruhigen Flug. Wir möchten uns an der Stelle ganz herzlich bedanken, dass Sie heute unsere Gäste sind. Lehnen Sie sich zurück, genießen Sie den Flug mit uns und wenn es etwas gibt, womit wir Ihnen diesen schöner gestalten können, zögern Sie bitte nicht, sich an unsere Flugbegleiter zu wenden. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. I would like to offer a very good morning on board our Airbus A380 on today's service to Denver. We expect a flight time of approximately 9.5 to 10 hours and a mostly smooth flight today. Make yourself comfortable, sit back, relax and enjoy the flight, and once we have finished the latest paperwork and the last pieces of luggage are loaded, we are going to push back and make our way. Thank you very much for your attention. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and we will get back to you with the latest weather information when we start our approach into Denver. Alright, excellent. So everything is done down here. We can turn all of those lights off, by the way. Don't really need any of those. Well, and then let's go ahead and actually turn the overhead light panel back on, so the intake light. Here we go. Alright, cool. So with all of that done, let's go ahead and start to set the aircraft up. So the load sheet should have arrived by now. And then we can see that our zero fuel weight is indeed 357.8. So a little bit heavier. 357.8. That means we are 1,000 heavier. That's covered by the contingency. I'm happy with that. CG 33.3. Like this. So takeoff weight is 1,000 heavier. Let's see, 505 tons. So just gotta recalculate that. So 505. Like this. We'll keep the rest. Actually, let's just uplink the latest weather over here. Calculate. So flaps 1, 43 degrees, 36, 56, 64. So that's going to be 43. THS 40. And the speeds 136. 156164 is all unchanged. 41 meter stop margin. Okay, that's not a lot, but that is fine with me. So, APU bleed coming on, and then we can do the departure briefing, please. In the meantime, let's get GSX to prepare the position for pushback and departure. And of course we're going to turn that fuel pump on, should have done that earlier. Okay, so we're departing Munich, runway 26 right, input 2 November, initial 7,000 and the MSA 3,700. So extra fuel and time, we have, well, just about 1,000 kilos here, so not a lot. Okay, thanks for that. Now, I don't have any hotspots for our taxi routing. Stop margin for the rejected is 48 meters plus the TAS effect. Engine out sits straight at 25 miles, climbing 4,000, and then we can take any pattern north or south to come back. Weather is good enough so that we can make an immediate return. Couple showers, but no problem with an ILS approach. Or any non-precision approach either. So, we would be overweight, so we got to carefully consider if we want to read the overweight landing checklist or not, but overall I don't expect any problems there. Apart from that, I have no specials, nothing non-standard. We call departure when advised by the tower. And do you have any threats? No, me neither. Perfect, so then we are good to go. Cockpit preparation checklist, please. So, gear pins and covers, removed. Fuel quantity, that's 148,000 kilos, balanced. And barrel reference, QNH 1014. So, cockpit preparation checklist complete. All right. Boden vom Cockpit? Ja, bitte. So, bitte bestätigen Sie, alle Checks completed und der Flieger ist bereit für den Pushback. Ja, das ist bestätigt. Wir warten nur noch auf Ihr Signal. Verstanden, dann rufen wir mal rein. Munich ground, Lufthansa 480 Super, request pushback and startup.
Lufthansa 480, service, pushback and startup approved. Face south.
Pushback and startup approved, Lufthansa 480 Super. But face south is not exactly correct. We are gonna face north. Well, yeah, we are. Okay, so park and brake is set. Takeoff speeds and thrust. V1 136, VR 156, V2 164, flex 43. And that's the before start checklist complete. So, Boden vom Cockpit. Der Push ist freigegeben, Nase nach Norden bitte und die Parkbremse ist gesetzt. Okay, Bremse lösen. Parkbremse ist gelöst, frei zum Push und wir warten auf Ihr Signal für die Motoren. So guys, that's how we do it in Germany. It's German ground comms, because many of the ground engineers don't speak proper English. Yes, I thought I'd live in a civilized country, but no.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Lufthansa Flight 480, departing from München and heading to Denver. My name is Mara, and I am your lead flight attendant today. Joining me in the cabin are my wonderful colleagues Lucas, Anna, Felix, and Sophie. We are thrilled to have you with us.
So, frei zum Motorstart.
Our estimated flight time is 10 hours and
Okay, wir starten hier 1 und die 2.
cruising at an altitude of 34,000 feet. Now let me take a moment to go over some important
So,
safety
engine 1 and 2
information.
starts.
First, please ensure your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To unfasten, simply lift the buckle. In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop down from the panel above you. Pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth. and
Nose wheel
secure
is a
it
little
with
bit
elastic
twitchy
band.
here.
Remember to put your own mask on before assisting others. For those of you seated near the exits, please note that we have
One
emergency
suicidal
exits
wing
located
walker
in front
spotted.
and rear of the aircraft. To reach these exits, simply follow the illuminated signs. In the event of an evacuation, please leave your luggage behind and proceed to the nearest exit. Each seat is equipped with a life vest located under your seat. To use it, pull it out, place it over your head, and secure the straps around your waist. Inflate the vest by pulling the red tabs or by blowing into the tubes. Lastly, please ensure your electronic devices are switched to airplane.
So, wir haben einen guten Start auf der 1 und der 2. Wir starten die 3 und die 4. So, engine 3 start, engine 4 start.
Pleasant flight with us today. Emmanuel, the cabin is ready for departure.
Thank you. I wonder if you would find any real-world flight attendants saying the captain's name and the cabin is ready for departure over the PA, knowing that pilots typically don't listen to those. Pushback beendet, die Bremse bitte setzen. Die Bremse sitzt. So, let's watch the engine start complete. And that's looking pretty good. So, wir haben 4 gute Starts, den Flieger zum Rollen vorbereiten, Freizeichen auf der rechten Seite und dann noch einen schönen Tag. Tschüss. Okay, it's auto-trimmed itself, very nice. And then we are just waiting for the ground signal for the after-start checklist. But it looks like they are hard at work delaying our flight. Yeah, thanks GSX. Okay, so flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral rudder, full left, full right, neutral. After start checklist, please. Anti-ice, off, pitch trim, 40% set. After start checklist complete. Lufthansa 480, request taxi to runway 26 right. So, a scratch pad would be something very nice, but unfortunately not in here.
Lufthansa 480 service. Taxi to runway 26 right. Via Delta 2, Whiskey 2, November 3 November, Alpha 1 Forward.
Lufthansa 480, taxi runway 26 right via Delta 2, Whiskey 2, November 3, November, Alpha 14. Okay, that's clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Then let's go. So initially straight ahead. All the way up here, Delta 2, Whiskey 2, November 3. That makes no sense. Oh, they want us to swing over. Okay, then we'll do just that. Now it makes more sense. For a short moment I was wondering, like, where is Whiskey 2? Yeah, here it is, on the other side. Alright, so we go straight ahead across the bridge and then off to the right onto November to holding point Alpha 14. So, hopefully very soon with traffic as well. They are working on it. I know the question came up a few times on one of the past videos, and yes, they are absolutely working on it. So 10 knots and clear left side, clear right side. Just look at how small everything looks when you're flying this airplane. Just an incredible bird, isn't it? Alright, so there is no change to the briefing. Weather for both of us, and taxi checklist please. Flight controls, checked. Flap setting, config 1 plus F, radar, on, taxi checklist complete. Okay, to revise the most important things, our engine out sit is straight at 25 miles climbing 4,000 with an MSA of 3,700. Both runways are available for an immediate return, with 26 right being our favorite. We are quite a bit above the maximum landing weight, around about 130 tons. So we need to consider carefully, do we want to dump fuel, do we want to make an immediate return? If we do opt for the immediate return, the overweight landing procedure is available, and if we have absolutely no time available, then we can always just do a traffic pattern and come back. And as long as there has not been any engine fire, we'll just turn on the APU, turn on the APU bleed, and then we have covered the most important points of the overweight landing procedure. Apart from that, normal sit, straight ahead and a right-hand turn. Initial speed limit is 220. Let's see, clean speed is 230, so we're going to keep the flaps extended for the time being. And then we contact departure when advised by air traffic control. Do you have any questions? That sounds like a no, so I'll take it that's our departure review complete. The plane just looks incredible, doesn't it? Such a monstrous aircraft, the A380. So we're gonna go via Alpha 1-4. Alpha 1-3 is next left, so it's gonna be the second next to the left. Alright, here it is, Alpha 1-4. Man, I should definitely have cleaned the windshield before putting up the GoPro. But well, we're gonna survive this way as well.
Lufthansa 480, contact tower on 118.705. Have a good afternoon.
118.705, Lufthansa 480. München Tower, Lufthansa 480, super, ready for departure. So now we're roundabout at the line.
Lufthansa 480, super Munich Tower, runway 26 right, winds 255 at 15, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 26 right, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa 480, super. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. So, lineup checklist. We're clear on the approach, and we are clear on the left. Takeoff runway, ST26 right, Alpha 14, PAX 1 and 2, off. Lineup checklist complete. And since we're at the full length, we can remove the takeoff shift. Very good. Are you ready? All right, takeoff. Manflex 43, SRS runway, auto thrust blue. Thrust set. .100 knots. Checked.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Nav, checked. So it looks like we need a little bit more than the standard 12.5 degrees of pitch here. Small rain shower.
Lufthansa 480, contact departure on 118.83.
118.83, Lufthansa 480. Thrust climb auto thrust. Autopilot. So, packs on. München radar, Lufthansa 480 Super, passing 3000, climbing flight level 70. Now watch the automatic flap retraction as we're passing, I think it's 210.
Super, München departure identified, direct Delta Mike 051.
Delta Mike 051, Lufthansa 480 Super. So that one would have been on the other departure. Must be some internal logic error. So here's the flap auto retraction. That looks a lot nicer on the speed indicator, doesn't it? So we're on climb thrust, that means we don't need that chrono anymore, but it does help when you start the ET.
Lufthansa 480, climb, flight level 210.
Lufthansa 480, climb flight level 210. 21,000 blue, flap 0. Speed checked. Flaps 0. So temperature is plus 20, so anti-ice is not going to be necessary. And that's looking pretty good so far, isn't it? Set standard. Standard cross check, passing flight level 50 now. Checked. So acceleration flow pattern, flaps up, speed brakes disarmed, landing gear up, packs on, complete. I like it. But man, we should really have cleaned the windows. Especially those GoPro suction mounts back there. Did they at least have a nice perspective from here? Well, maybe with an extended stick. Maybe something like this. So you can already make it dark over here. I knew he would do that anyway, so might as well do it now before we get out of the clouds. Same thing over here, of course. I tell you what, we're gonna leave this up. At least for now. So, climbing at a nice rate, 2,400 feet a minute.
Lufthansa 480, climb flight level 260.
Lufthansa 480, climb flight level 260. Flight level 260 blue. Alright, so far so good. Now let's see, expected arrival time 1911, 1910. That's 35 early. I like it. I'm not gonna make any jokes about Germans being on time. Not after we build our new airport. Alright, passing level 100. Lights off. We'll keep the signs on for the time being. EFIS CP is set. Then nothing in the nav aids. Cruise level 340, optimum 350. Yeah, well, it's kind of fine for me. Let's just insert the step climbs here. So, level 360 at 10 west. And then we'll have flight level 380 at 80 west. And level 390 at Romeo Alpha Papa. All right. So that's looking quite good in my eyes. Clearing the clouds, and once we're clear we can turn the seatbelt signs off. Well, and with that, I'd say enjoy the flight. Alrighty, so we're following the LE3 arrival into Denver, and it's time to start setting us up for the approach. So we're going to re-intercept the profile just about here at Huygen, but for that we'll need half speed brake. That's what the re-intercept symbol is actually based on. Now, passing 18,000 we can set the QNH, which is 3007, and then I think it's a good idea just to go flaps 1 already, because we have so little speed margin here. So speed checked, flaps 1. And I think this is just looking a lot better, isn't it? Okay, so with the big things out of the way, let's have a look at the weather. It's 270 at 10, gust 21. We are landing runway 16 right today. So it's going to be a little bit of crosswind here, but that makes things fun, doesn't it? Also, do note that we have a very high temperature here, 24 degrees, so it's going to make the approach an interesting one. Now, let's go ahead and have a look into the arrival that we are flying. We're following the LE3 arrival, as mentioned earlier, and this is what it looks like. Now, most importantly, we are already over here, and after Kipper, we are most likely going to receive radar vectors for the rest of the approach. The approach itself is then going to be the ILS approach on runway 16 right. There is an approach transition available from Kipper over here that we could use. However, GPS or radar are required.
Contact Denver approach on 124.905.
124.905, Lufthansa 480 Super. Denver approach, Lufthansa 480 Super, passing 15,000, descending 14,000, information Oscar.
Lufthansa 480 Super, Denver approach. Good afternoon, Denver, altimeter 29.88. Expect the ILS runway 16 right approach into Denver via Kipper.
Expect the ILS 16 right via Kipper, Lufthansa 480, and the altimeter 2988. I disagree on the altimeter setting. If the sim tells me it's 3007, then I do believe that. Okay, so he told us to expect the ILS via Kipper, so we're probably just going to fly the whole standard arrival over here. Which is fine with me, makes it about as easy as it gets. So, lights on, signs on, LS is selected, and well, you can have the terrain. I'll stay on the weather. Descent, alt 12000 blue. And apart from that, there's really nothing special over here. Now, the one thing that is special is, of course, the elevation, 5,500 feet, coupled with the hot temperatures, 24 degrees. So that's really going to be the interesting part of this. Now, leaving all of that fun aside, let's go ahead and do the actual approach briefing. So, LE3 arrival into Denver, and we are looking at MSAs, let's see, of about 9,200 feet all around Denver VOR. It will be an ILS approach 16 right, and the minimum 5,526. Go around straight at 5,600, right turn heading 218, intercept radial 255, Fox Quebec Fox.
Descend and maintain 8,000.
Lufthansa 480 Super, descend and maintain 8,000. So, alt 12000 magenta, 8,000 set. Alright, cool.
Lufthansa 480 Super, maintain 8,000.
Maintain 8,000, Lufthansa 480 Super. Yeah, you said that, my friend. Okay, flight director guidance, ILS approach, maximum reverse, DTV to vacate on the rapid exit taxiway, and then we'll have a fairly standard taxi in. Nothing much special here. Let's see, where is the A380's chart? Here it is. So we'll vacate via Delta 5, Whiskey Bravo, and then over to the apron. Any questions on that? Nope. Beautiful. So temperature is +9, engine anti-ice on. Alright, all constraint star, descent blue. All constraint. And we are past Kipper, so it should resume the descent in a moment. Let's watch it do that. Actually only past Haley. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so approach checklist please. Barrow reference, QNH 3007. Minimum, Barrow 5526. Auto brake, BTV. Approach checklist complete. So, 27 miles out, India Delta X-ray uniform. And that should still change. Frequency is correct, but not the correct ident just yet. Descent alt 1500 blue. For a skimsh. Or however you pronounce that. Thrust idle. Okay, so temperature is plus 10. Let's see if it goes down again when we re-enter those clouds. So just gonna wait a moment here. So, looking at the instruments, you can already see why flying into such a high elevation airport is a thing. We have an indicated airspeed of about 215 and a true airspeed of 257. And we are going to remain that fast all the way through the landing. So that's the interesting thing we are going to face today.
Super. Direct Kipper. Cleared for the ILS runway 16 right approach. Kipper transition.
Lufthansa 180 Super, cleared ILS 16 right, Kipper transition. Lock. That direct Kipper is of course wrong, because we have already passed Kipper. And incorrect instruction is reported. So 21 miles out, but be aware, since we're in the US, the DME may not necessarily be co-located with the runway threshold. We do have the correct item by now, India Delta Quebec Quebec, so that is good. Now let's have a quick look at the vertical profile. And it looks like the DME is actually co-located with the threshold on today's runway, so that's pretty good. Right, glide slope alive. Activate approach raise, please. And confirmed. So, speed, alt constraint, Cat 1, autopilot 1 and 2, glide slope blue. Even though it's interesting that we're getting Cat 1 shown here
Cabin is ready.
instead of Cat 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now beginning our final approach to Denver.
So, temperature 13,
Please turn
engine
off all
anti-ice off.
electronic devices and stow them until we've arrived at the gate. Kindly put your tray tables away and ensure your seats are in their full upright position. Don't forget to fasten your seatbelts.
And that's looking pretty good over here, isn't it? Speed descent out, 9000 magenta.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Glide slope star. So, 12,000. Go around altitude 12,000 set. Glide slope. 13 miles out, 210 knots true airspeed. Flaps 2. Speed checked, flaps 2. You will notice that we are flying pretty much a non-standard profile over here with our configuration. But ultimately we're just doing it in order to get the true airspeed down. So we're now 12 miles out, 200 knots, that looks quite good to me. But we might have to go config 3 in a moment here to get the aircraft to slow down even further than this. So slowly but steadily we're getting there.
Super, contact Denver Tower on 124.3.
124.3, Lufthansa 480 Super. Okay, flaps 3. Speed checks. Flaps 3. Denver Tower, Lufthansa 480 Super, ILS 16 right.
Lufthansa 480 Super, Denver Tower, winds 260 at 10, gusting 21. Runway 16 right, cleared to land.
Runway 16 right, clear to land, Lufthansa 480 Super. Okay, gear down. Checked. And flaps full. Speed checked. Flaps full. Landing checklist. ECAM memo. Landing no blue. Landing checklist complete. So look at this. 143 indicated gives us a true airspeed of 161. Wind looks almost calm over here. But that is going to change, I have no doubts about that. So then, let's take over. I hate to do it this way, but they just don't have a click spot on this stick here. So, Cat 1. Manual thrust. So, building up a little bit of a tailwind now. Ground speed 165.
1000.
Checked. So that wind is still supposed to change quite dramatically.
400.
Land.
300. 200.
But for the time being it looks like we just stick to the tailwind.
100. 100 above. 50.
Yeah,
40,
continue.
30. 20. 10. 5.
Okay, spoilers. Reverse green. $70 knots. Manual brakes.
Auto brake off.
Alright, my friends, and with that, welcome to Denver.
Lufthansa 480 Super, welcome to Denver. Contact ground on 121.35.
121.35 Lufthansa 480. Denver ground, Lufthansa 480 Super, request taxi to gate Alpha 41.
Lufthansa 480 Super,
Ladies and
Alpha
gentlemen,
41 activated.
welcome to
Proceed as
Denver.
requested.
We have just landed safely, and I must say it was an excellent landing.
Lufthansa 480, request taxi to gate Alpha 41.
Because it's exactly
The AI understood something completely different.
Interesting.
Interesting.
City park system in the U.S. Thank you for flying with Lufthansa today.
Lufthansa 480 Super, taxi to gate Alpha 41 via Delta 5, Whiskey Bravo, Bravo November Hotel. Have a good day.
First Officer Amanda.
Lufthansa 480, taxi to gate Alpha 41 via Delta 5, Whiskey Bravo, Bravo November Hotel. You too. So, Delta 5 is straight ahead, that much I can tell you already. Then Whiskey Bravo, Bravo November, and Hotel. Alright, looking good. So with that, welcome to Denver, my friends. That was an interesting one, wasn't it? Even though the crosswind, for some reason, didn't appear, I still really liked it. Those hot and high airports are just always a challenge. And you can absolutely see how we had a ground speed of close to 170 knots on the final. That's just amazing, isn't it? You're really approaching the operational limitations of the aircraft here, especially the tire speed limit. For the return flight, of course, the brake energy limit is going to matter. So really an interesting type of operation that we're doing here. So we can continue taxi here, even through the hold shot line. Don't think we actually need the beacon here. Okay, so we're cleared via Whiskey Bravo, Bravo November, Hotel. And then all the way to the gate over here. Looks good to me. So let's see if we can get some GSX. Alpha 41. No follow me needed. Handling by Worldwide Flight Services. Interesting enough, looking at the chart down here, Hotel is actually not an A380 approved taxiway. So I tell you what, we're gonna take the next to the right here, which is, I suppose, some scenery developer did probably not set the correct, wingspan for the taxiways here, because that's where Say Intentions is reading the data from, straight from the scenery. Okay, so Hotel was the last taxiway they instructed us to go on. We are parking somewhere over there, so I suggest we just take Alpha November on our own over here and then taxi to the gate like that. So, clear on the left side, clear on the right side. Start APU. So, maximum 15 knots on the apron, but that's not going to be a problem. Alright, 15 knots we have, and then we're almost here. Just a beautiful looking plane, isn't it? I know. I'm repeating that too often. But it is. I mean, most planes are. Just don't get started with a helicopter. You're never gonna hear that from me on a helicopter. Those things only fly because they're so ugly the Earth doesn't want them. Alright, so Alpha 41 is going to be just behind that, at that part of the building over there. Here it is, and we are going to take the whiskey line. Because that's the one made for the A380. Now let's see if GSX is going to recognize that or if we're going to get completely incorrect guidance. I somewhat figure it's going to be the latter, but we'll see. So let's see, Alpha 41 Whiskey, here it is. And they're actually standing in the correct spot, aren't they? Very nice. So now comes the challenge of parking an airplane as huge as this one. But here we go. So just gonna hope we'll be able to see the Marshal all the way through. And stop. All right. APU bleed on, parking brake set. Wonderful. Then APU bleed is confirmed. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cabin crew, all doors on park. Alright, we are shutting down. Beacon off. Slides are disarmed. Seatbelts off. And then. Alright, here we are. So, parking checklist, please. Parking brake or chocks. That's the parking brake set. And wing light is off. Okay, parking checklist complete. So, let's go ahead and order deboarding. And that is definitely going to take a little while. So, while they are getting the aircraft ready for deboarding, I would like to thank you very much for flying along. If you liked today's ATC and cabin crew, then be sure to check out Say Intentions AI using the link in the video description or in the pinned comment below. And if you like the rest of the flight, do let me know in the comments below, leave a like on YouTube as well, and subscribe to the channel if you're up for more. Finally, if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.